right, well, I'm back in here in the south end of South Central Big Branch National Wildlife Refuge to collect some acorns from this, what I believe is Quercus michauxii crossed to Quercus sinuata. And there's one of them. Caps are very scaled. Acorns are not very elongated. Not much of a peduncle on there. Very scaled. And the foliage, the reason I don't think stellata got involved in this, Quercus stellata, is that the foliage, I would expect it to be more tomentose on the abaxial surface, and it's more glaucous, and that is a sinuata trait from what I've seen. So I can't prove it. It would take genetic testing to prove it. But the morphology seems to fit, the intermediacy, everything seems to fit with that line of thinking. And this poor tree had a mishap early in its existence. It looks like something had fell on it and created this big crotch, which should have been cut out. That one on the bottom, if that had been removed 20, 30 years ago, and this other section had been allowed to be the central leader, I don't think the tree would have, because you see that root system was intense, but it had so much canopy. It was a huge wind sail in that storm, and it just couldn't have, as big and wide and tough as that root system was, it couldn't support it in those winds. And we may have had a tornado here, because everything here is pointing back toward the east, and the wind would have been out of the south. The strongest of the wind, I believe, would have been out of the south right here. But I could be wrong. Who knows about that? But all these trees are pointing, I believe they're pointing east. Yeah, so I've come to collect. This is probably the last crop it'll ever produce. Fortunately, they're mature, they're ready. I might be able to get a few dozen of them, and hopefully the tree will live. See that flaky, segmented but flaky, but not too flaky. I believe what we got here is michauxii crossed sinuata. I don't know what generation. It could be an F1. I don't see any other intermediates around here that combine those traits. So I feel it's a strong possibility that it's an F1. There again, can't prove it without genetic testing, and that's never going to happen. But hopefully the tree will live. We'll have some living tissue, living branches down here through the first good cold snap. And that'll bring it into dormancy, and I can come down here and cut some scions and make some grafts and save the quartet, the original.